Hello random people on the internet, my name is Banana, and today I finally did it. I was ready for a meta before it even came out, and this is the new magic damage meta. So if you didn't know, magic damage got changed. I made a video on the frozen scythe and how good it is, but there is actually so many amazing items that are out in the magic damage buffs, and I am just floored at how OP everything in this update is, because all of these magic damage items that are currently out aren't even the best that are going to be in the game, because from dungeons there is the Bonzo wand, which is just a cracked up version of the heroic frozen scythe here. So it's gonna be nuts, it's gonna be OP, and in this video I just want to talk about the optimal setup to get the maximum magic damage in the game, because there is actually a lot of things that you do want. And I still have one more optimization I could do, but otherwise I think I'm pretty much at the maximum level. So I'm just going to show you guys everything that I have right now. So to start off, for talismans, you're going to want to go with the Bizarre Reforge on every single one of them. The Bizarre Reforge is going to give you a bunch of intelligence, a little bit of health, a little bit of strength, and it's going to nerf your crit damage. But fact is, you do not need crit damage with this build. You're legit just going to be spamming your abilities, so you're going to need as much intelligence as possible to buff the damage of them. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be insane. I just reforge it all right now if you're going to try and stick it with this magic build for a bit, and just reforge it back if you don't like it. But this Bizarre Reforge is really good. And the next thing that I'm actually going to talk about is the armor. So the helmet that I'm wearing is the Dark Goggles. These come from Ophelia in the Dungeon Hub. It's going to make your abilities deal plus 50% damage to undead monsters, and it's going to give 150 base intelligence. So when you reforge that to Wise, you're getting 225 intelligence right now, which is an insane amount for a rare helmet. And then you can recombobulate this once Dungeons comes out, up that obviously. But then you wear the Elegant Tuxedo. Now the Elegant Tuxedo is the most expensive armor set in the game. It's 75 million coins to buy the Elegant Tuxedo, but you are going to have so much damage and so much intel mainly. Every single piece is going to give at least 225 on it, and then the chest piece gives a total of 425 intelligence. So you are going to get that much more intel, and then you get the passive where you deal 150% more damage. So the Elegant Tux is just going to be the play for this, at least when it comes to scenarios where you're not going to be dying. If you're in dungeons or something, I would honestly recommend something like the Very Wise armor or something like that, or just switch it up to Crystal, because the Tuxedo is going to put you down to 250 health, and it's going to suck a little bit, but overall the damage increase is going to be insane. So you have your armor, you have your talismans. Now what are you going to want to run for weapons? So weapons in the game are pretty easy for what you want to run. I run 3 different magic weapons right now, and there are a couple other ones that I'll take note of, but I think that these 3 are just the best objectively, and that's going to be the Ink Wand, the Voodoo Doll, and the Frozen Scythe. So all of these are going to be really good for their usage that you have pretty much, because the Ink Wand is going to be your instant burst damage. And you're going to want to go, whatever you're attacking, first thing you're going to do is use the Ink Wand, and you're going to deal 1.3 million damage with that, with my build at least. Then you switch to the Voodoo Doll, proc it on them. It does like 200k magic damage on a hit. I don't know if it showed on these guys, but you proc it on them, and then you immediately switch to your Frozen Scythe, and this is going to be your main weapon because of how insane the damage on this thing is. Look at this. With my build right now, no pots by the way, because you don't need pots for this build, you're going to be doing 475,000 damage per Frozen Scythe hit. 475k. That is, if you did not know, a lot of damage. And you can basically just do it this fast. So that's not OP at all. You're just going to want to slowly but surely shoot out every single piece of Frozen Scythe that you can until it is dead. So basically, once again, I'm going to go through the combo. You're going to go Ink Wand, Voodoo Doll, Frozen Scythe, and then you're just holding down Frozen Scythe until the end of time. Unless for some reason it lives past 30 seconds, and in that case you can switch back to your Ink Wand, use it again. Or if it lives for more than 3 seconds even, which most of them won't, you can switch back to the Voodoo Doll really quick and get another proc on that. So if you don't know where the Voodoo Doll is from, because a lot of people probably don't, Voodoo Doll is from Revenant 5, I want to say. It's probably the weirdest recipe in the game. You have a Pumpkin Minion 9 in it, an Enchanted Pufferfish, 32 Enchanted Gas Tears, a Crystallized Heart, and then arrows. Then you get the Voodoo Doll, and that one's going to be really good. It's just something that you're going to add on for that additional damage. It's not an insane amount, obviously. It's like 200k, and that's like per second, actually. Actually, that's pretty good now that I look at it. It's sort of okay. But then you want to go for pets, obviously, once you have all your items. So the pet that I'm currently using is the sheep pet, and that's because it gives you intelligence, it gives you ability damage, and it's really good. But I've actually found, at least from talking to other people, if you're testing this on endstone protectors or anything, it's actually better to run something like a Ender Dragon pet, because the Ender Dragon pet gives you a stat boost where it will give you a 10% stat boost at level 100, and that 10% stat boost is going to include your intelligence as well, and it's going to give you the End Strike passive, where you're dealing 25% more damage to end mobs. So the 10% intelligence actually ends up being about equivalent to the sheep pet, because like right now you look at my mana, and I have 2,000, and 10% of that is 200 if you did not know. So I'm basically going to be getting, because if I didn't have my sheep pet out, I'm going to pull like, what, 1,800? Yeah, 1,891 right now. So with the 10% increase, I'd be getting 189 intelligence versus the 200 you get on the sheep. So it ends up to where it actually is really good to have something like the dragon pet on, because it's going to add the same amount of mana, but give you a little bit more damage on those end mobs, which is going to help you on endstone protectors. And if you want to see how good this build is on endstone protectors, here you go. So yeah, the last couple tips, obviously, like you want to increase your intelligence as much as you possibly can. So you want to be Alchemy 50, Enchanting 50, like I am. I'm just a professional. I knew that this was coming. I became a wizard years ago. You want to do the Melody's Harp as much as you can. I haven't done the Through the Campfire because I'm bad and my ping is just awful because my internet is gross. But you just want to get as much intel as possible on top of everything in this build. If there's something better than the dark goggles that come out, which you would assume there would be, because these aren't like amazing, but like if there's anything better, you're obviously going to want to switch to that. But I don't think anything will top the tuxedo anytime soon. Honestly, I think they're going to nerf this build. I think it's a little bit overpowered. I don't see how like anyone who's just doing physical damage can compete. Because if I just whip out the Frozen Scythe on a dragon or anything, when it's just staying still in the air, you can legit just melt it. Or if you somehow teleport up to it and then get an Ink Wand off, oh my goodness, boys. You are going to be shredding everything with this build. And another benefit of this build that a lot of people don't realize is the fact that you don't need pots. Like, that's just huge. I think I already mentioned that in the video, but I'm saying it again. Pots are completely unnecessary for this build. And that's what's going to make it just so much better for casual playing. I could go to the end right now and grind an Endstone Protector out. Easy as that, because there's literally nothing stopping me from going and just killing stuff. Because you're going to be one-shotting all your Zealots with your Frozen Scythe. You're going to be one-shotting the boss with all your combos. Like, it's going to be so quick. And the more people that run this, the faster everything's going to die. It's going to end up being like the old tuxedo dropping, like with Hurricane Bow meta on dragons, where everything would die in 3 seconds. You know, everything is, every mob is just shaking in their boots right now. They're worried because they're going to die so quick. This is going to be great for dungeons because you get way more intel already in dungeons when you're just running as a mage. So if you want to run something like a mage build in dungeons, I can definitely recommend this. And something else that I was sort of theory crafting in my head, if you're running dungeons and you're worried about dying, maybe try a bone helmet. I don't know how that would work. If you're just playing in the back with a bone helmet on instead of the dark goggles, you're going to lose a bit of damage, but you're still going to have the tux on. So it still could be really good. And a couple more things from dungeons are going to be insane for this build. There's the ultimate wise enchant that you can throw on every single one of these to make it cost less mana. There's the wisdom ultimate enchant that you can throw on pieces of armor to add more intel to you or something based on, I think it's experience. And then there's something like the Necrotic Reforged, which is just better wise. So mages are in an awesome spot. They are doing sick, and that is amazing because we haven't seen anything but people just running very high crit damage for so long, and having something for intel is just going to be awesome for literally anyone who has grinded up their enchanting and their alchemy and just has the funds to support this really expensive but really awesome build. So yeah, that's going to be all for this video. I hope that you guys did enjoy. If you did, smash that like button, maybe even subscribe. Maybe even go follow my Twitch in the description. It's twitch.tv/menacing_banana. You should go follow there because a lot of people still don't know I have a Twitch. That's where I'm going to be streaming the majority of my Dungeons content. But yeah, that's going to be all for today. I will talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out.